Dane, how are you, man? It's been forever. How's your day?
Yeah. Oh, good, good. Enjoying finally summer. Enjoying the extra sun we get and loving every minute of it. How about yourself?
You can have it, dude. Once it hit 75, I was out. I'm like, I'm ready for fall. I want fall ball. I don't want to touch it, man. I got a story for you on that. It's funny, man. So Reagan, man, we get done with the tournament Sunday. We
Yep.
called the games and all that. It was fun. We get home. She's like, Dad, I want to go swimming. So we get there. The water's like 88 degrees. So she's like, is this a hot tub? So we got in for like 20 minutes and we're like, no, we're done with this. Let's go. So we ended up getting ice cream or something. So but yeah, man, it's been a fun week. You guys have a tournament this weekend, and then you're on your break, right? Is that correct?
Actually, we're at Fourth of July is our next tournament, so I'll be calling all those games, and then a couple weeks later we head to Nashville for Nationals. So a
Never
lot on
it's
the a lot on the horizon.
never stops, right? Always a good
Yeah.
time, right? So, well, man, one thing I've always been proud of with the show from day one. We've been blessed as we talk about it a lot.
Yep.
We're thankful to the audience. I think we just hit 33rd country that picked it up now. It's really
Yep.
cool. And our motto has always been from day one that we want to showcase female leadership. We stand
Yep.
behind that unapologetically, love and support every chance we can. And so we're working on, and we finally got her here in a second. We'll bring her on, Lindsey Henson. You probably have heard of her husband. He's in a couple bands, Brantley Gilbert, Pillar. Our buddies from Pillar, we know them. But I started digging into what she does. Talk about a modern day just rock star influence. She's a
Yep.
fitness guru, metal guru, got some of the coolest tats around, a family lady, and kind of a to be honest, a godly role model. So you have this
Yep.
blend of like influence, music, just passion and family. That's rock
Yeah.
and roll to me, right? So when we saw
Yeah.
her, we're like, Lindsey, would you come on the show? We'd love to have you on. And she was kind enough to say yes, Dane. So I want to
Yeah.
get to it and bring on our guest, Lindsey. Lindsey, how are you today, my friend?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Amazing.
Excellent. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Yeah, Lindsey, it's an honor to have you. Like I said, your family, we love you. Your whole family is just amazing and inspiring to watch. Thank you for
Yeah.
inspiring us. So I know you're a busy lady. I've got some questions Dane and I are going to jump into for you. So I'll get
Okay.
rolling. When you're talking about this thing that you've now created, this Mother Metal Fitness, the inspirational, like the workouts, the pushing, kind of like just the way you're pushing and driving your brand. Take me back to when you got this love for this. Maybe it was the metal first, maybe it was the working out. When did you get the love to do this like it is now, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's funny because if I had to go like all the way back, I was just telling my husband the other day that I was like, how did I miss this? The first set of stitches I got was literally I fell on my dad's weight bench in the
Okay.
dining
Oh.
room.
Oh
And my
my.
mom was like, she's always climbing on it. I was like, I fell on my passion when I was like 18 months, almost 2 years old or something.
From the
Um,
start.
but actually it really kind of picked up for me. I mean, I was kind of into the fitness and all that a little bit. Probably I started like around 30 years old or so. Probably just because as a woman, I'd had two kids already, but I
Yeah.
had the first
Yeah.
two that was young. I was 21 and 23. Your
Yeah.
body's just different. The way you handle is
Mhm.
different. Everything's just
Yep.
different. And
Yep.
so, obviously, having a baby at 30 was a totally different experience. And
Mhm.
I just really, more than anything, I missed my strength. I felt like I
Yeah.
lost a lot of strength. And that was something that I wanted to work on mainly because I am a stay at home, or I was at, more of a stay at home mom
Yeah.
position at that point, and my husband would be on the road. And it's like, that's when everything breaks or something happens. And I needed, and I tend to move furniture by myself, and I shouldn't.
So
So
you got that natural strength too, not just gym strength. You got that mom strength, right?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
it's like,
yeah,
I
it's
love it. I
kind of
love it.
watching my mom too, probably a
Yeah.
lot. She was a single mom. My dad, passed when I was
Yeah.
about 9 years old, and so I had a really strong mother to
Okay.
watch that really. She did a lot on her own, and I
Mhm.
never saw her ask for help. Nobody really offered. Here and there. I mean, she had some good friends. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but I watched her really take on a lot herself, and I think I just always had I drew a lot of inspiration. Like the women that I admired growing up were always very strong, and
Mhm.
I just like very just like women that handle things. Like they
Yeah,
handle their
I got you.
business,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah,
I'm
like
picking up.
that, it all
Yeah.
kind of just blended together. And then I think, I lost my mom in 2020,
I'm sorry.
very beginning of, and, uh, that was kind of it. I think like that kicked off a grief journey that kicked off a healing journey that was
Hmm.
really, really vital to like where I have arrived at in my life now. And my husband also, just kind of where we
Yeah.
came to in our relationship. Um, and the fitness thing, it was like weird. It was like I took that year off in 2020, but just to kind of I set in my grief. I set in my
Mhm.
missing her and everything, and then I drew a strength from it from there on.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
okay. What do I want to do with this, and what do I want to put out there? And like more than anything, I wasn't intending on really trying to start something at first. It was more like I'm just trying to heal myself. I'm a mess.
Hmm.
I'm I felt like I had just so much going on in my head. And I'm also like, I'm a writer too.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of different things.
Saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to figure out like music stuff and things that I want to do. Actually wrote a song, collabed with Pillar actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
on
nice.
the last record, that they did, which was pretty freaking cool that they even gave a crap about anything that I wrote.
Well, of course, because you got a cool like just listen to what you're saying right now, Dan, before you take two. Lindsay, I got like 4 or 5 things. I'm already making notes and all that.
Yeah.
You're talking about, and it's that's why it's so passionate. I think why everyone just flocks to you because you're like you took a situation. My condolences for your loss.
Yeah.
When
Absolutely.
you took that situation and you turned it around into it was fuel for your fire. You began
Mhm.
creatively writing. You begin, later on, like you said, and by no means, 30 is not old by any means, but you're like, when you said after you having your second child, you began your fitness journey
Yep.
after maybe the typical start. You see what I'm saying? So that's an
Yeah.
inspiration, even for the ladies that listen to the show now. You didn't have to start this right out of college or get drafted. Like, no, I'm going to do me at my own pace. I'm going to pick it up. And day over day,
Yeah.
you kept it going and turned it into something really, really like powerful. That's awesome.
Thank
Wow. Dane, help me out, Dane, because I'm just kind of already wowing, So, yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at a lot of your Instagram posts and things like that, I just had a question before I go to two. How
Okay.
did you just go ahead and decide to, has metal always been something that you've listened to and it was just kind of a natural process to incorporate that into, your fitness?
Yeah.
Okay. So music in general, just like I was also the baby of a musician, and my daddy was my
Mhm.
first music man. Matter of fact, the whole like I did the whole pretty
Yeah.
eyes pirate smile. She
Mhm.
married him, but I put she married a music man because my dad would sing it to me like you'll marry a music man. Um, and my daddy was my first music man. And there's a lot of hardship there, but like the beauty in it was that like I really was like what held me and healed me all through those years, like a lot of people probably,
Mhm.
is music. And so it was kind of a natural thing to marry like music with something that I'm also passionate with.
Mhm.
Metal specifically is so funny because like yes, like I grew up on like Metallica and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but Noah was like I liked Pantera, but I
Yeah.
didn't like love Pantera and stuff
Right.
till like Noah. Like Noah was my it was
Yeah.
it's funny because like he really was into like the heavier stuff a lot more than I was there for a
Mhm.
while. And like as the years went on, I guess we just kind of
I got you.
blended. I don't
It just
know.
melded together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got you.
like we're
Yeah.
just we
Yeah.
just I think it was very healing for me too. And I think
Mhm.
also like in 2020, that was another thing that shifted, was like I started like really delving into a lot more music that I hadn't,
Mhm.
and just realized that like that was more my passion than anything, like was the heavier stuff.
Yeah.
So it's funny because a lot of the stuff that I'm inspired to write is very like Maria Brink
Yeah.
meets
She's awesome.
I would say Maria Brink meets, oh my gosh, my brain is like
It happens.
jogging right now. Like there's a few that I'm like really into right now, and I'm drawing a blank.
Maybe some of the Tatiana, even like some gender type stuff that maybe you're
Yeah,
directed
like
to. Yeah, I
some
got you.
stuff like that. A little
Yeah.
bit, obviously a little spirit box in
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
but there's also some, some old school, like some Linkin Park and
Yeah.
some,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like we've all got all that. But I mean, I'm an old soul too. I love
Yeah.
my 80s, 70s,
Yeah, I
all
got you.
that.
Metal. It's all metal. It's all
Oh
good,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? What I'm
Yep.
hearing
So
right now, Lindsay, what you need to do, Lindsay, we're gonna go into clear this. You need to start like a music review podcast. The way you can break down
yeah.
music, because I've watched you do this.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
go. You need to start a podcast if you haven't
Yeah.
already. Music review. Let's go. Just saying,
That would be cool.
But
I guess I've just never really thought to.
yeah, because you got a lot of musical. You have musical acumen. So like breaking
Yeah.
down as a musician like yourself, you write, you play, music. I'm just saying I'd listen to it. So go ahead, Dane. Let me shut
Oh
up.
yeah. You can
So
make a question answer segment, and you
yeah,
can take it in any
that's
kind of
cool.
avenue. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be
with
cool. Yeah.
yeah,
You guys
with
give me
Noah,
ideas.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
I said, oh, you're giving me ideas, hey.
There you go.
There we go. Other than obviously Noah, your husband, with what he does and being a fan of his, what are maybe a couple of concerts that you've been to that kind of stick out in your mind through the years
Yeah.
that you really enjoyed?
Favorites. Yeah.
Your favorites.
Oh man. My favorites. Dang. We took the kids to see Slipknot last year. That was really
Oh
cool.
man.
That
That's
was
cool.
like full circle because it was so like I was like, okay, I always wanted to see Slipknot when I was a teenager. And
Yeah.
okay, we were never allowed. And I just
Right.
remember
Right.
like, friends of mine and like all of us, like me and my friends, like we were the ones that were getting in trouble for like we couldn't wear our Slipknot shirts in school. You had to turn them inside out. And,
Yep.
like all that, and like so I
Yeah.
never got to go because my mom wouldn't let me, and she wouldn't let me go see like Linkin Park. Like my friends were
Yeah.
going, and she was like, no,
Yeah.
you can't go. But she bought me tickets to see Aerosmith and Kiss, which was interesting. I was like,
Because it's older,
I
mom.
didn't
You know what I mean? It's
understand.
funny.
But yeah,
Did
so
they
that
like
was
it?
really
Did the
cool. It was
kids
kind
like
of
it?
full circle to stand there, like me and Noah. It was like mom and dad, and then our teenagers are standing there, and they're
Oh
just
man.
like rocking every.
That's
That
awesome.
was cool. Oh, and when we went I took Hannah to see. It was Alice in Chains
Oh,
and Corn, which
oh,
actually Brian hooked us up there. Head.
Wow.
That was
yeah.
awesome. That was so dope. Because I'm standing there and I'm watching Hannah like just rock in this every word to Alice in Chains before Corn ever hit the stage. But the cool part was it was literally the very last concert that I had seen when I was pregnant with her was
Oh,
I believe it was Down and Alice in Chains.
Wow.
And I
wow.
was like 8 and a
Oh,
half months pregnant, like out, just, and so to be standing there with my teenager and she's just every word and I'm like, this is so weird.
Dane
Just full
knows
circle
this.
moments, stuff like
Th-
that. Like,
It's funny you said that because literally, and there's not an exaggeration. Alice in Chains, my all-time favorite band. All-time favorite band. I have like 6 different copies of just the Jar of Flies vinyl alone. Like I'm a nut about it. And
yes.
one time, I gotta tell you this, it was so funny. Me and Dane about lost our mind and it was just a message, but Mike messaged us about coming on the show. We're like, oh my God, it's Mike. He knows we're alive. Oh my God, this is the greatest day ever. So when you mentioned that, that's really cool. So I'm a little jealous of you getting to see
Yeah.
Alice in Chains. Jerry's like a god among men. I'm telling you, he's awesome.
So Jerry
So
Cantrell also told me I was pretty that night too. Does that make you jealous?
it does. Yes, it does. I love him. He's my idol. Love
Noah
that dude.
Noah had a whole thing about it because he was rude to me, but he was rude to Noah. But as soon as I walked in and I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
with my belly up, he was like, then he was like nice and he was like
All of a
being all
sudden,
friendly.
yeah. Thanks,
I was
Jerry.
like,
I should have been there. It's awesome.
you just need to take me with you.
Yeah, that's cool. So you got these stories, and it's like we say the kind of like the first family of metal. People like when you and Noah are doing with the kids. It's
Yeah.
cool and influence stuff. As I think about this, I've heard you say it kind of a few times in different ways. I've heard Rob say it a few times. I'm kind of like what you had said. Kind of grew up very, very like there was certain music was okay and wasn't. And I
Yeah.
heard you guys say this. Noah said it, Lester said it, and then and you a few times where it's like it's okay to kind of have a certain belief system, but still rock out. It's cool that now people understand music is just music. There's times in growing up, it was like, oh, this music is not good or this music is bad. And I kind of like how you've
Yeah.
kind of broken down those barriers and it's just music. That's really cool. You can still have whatever morals you want to have or beliefs that you want to have and just rock out. You don't have to decide
Yeah.
between one or the other. So your influence, kind of what you're building this empire, the mother metal fitness is really cool. I'm kind of curious too, obviously from the fitness side. I know some of your influences like from your dad and Noah from the music, but as you've expanded that and taken it back from the metal to the fitness side, do you have a couple maybe like fitness gurus or people that
Yeah.
influence you that you're working with? I'm kind of curious, you know.
Yeah.
That's a long
Honestly,
question.
okay. I've not really been like a super like I never really was like super into a certain sport or anything growing up. Like I kind
Sure.
of like this or that or I couldn't say that I have like an athletic like role model, but I would say like I've just surrounded myself with a lot of really awesome people that really, they believe in, taking care of their bodies,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and what fitness has done for them. Also, on the mental health side of things
Yeah.
too. I would say that like I wouldn't say anybody in specific. There's no like Instagram influencer or anybody that I'm like, yeah, that person. I'm like, I want to be like them. Like, I don't really want to be like anybody else. I think that was it too, was like finding me
Yeah.
through every, like, I don't have anybody that I'm like trying to like
Yeah.
be like, or I'm just literally I've been trying to find myself in all of it.
I got
And
you.
while I find myself basically just, I guess along the way, I accidentally sort of like started to realize that, well, not, I mean, I started getting messages, I would have
Yeah.
different people reach out. Some of them would be girls I went to high school with. Telling me, hey, you didn't know, but I've been watching you and I lost all this weight and da da da, and because I would get, I think we all get self-conscious and we're like, yeah, why do I keep putting myself out there? I don't really know if anybody cares. This is stupid. But like for me, it got to a point where I was like, I didn't really care about that, but I did get to a point where I was like, I don't want people to think I'm not like super vain. I'm not just sitting there like,
Yeah.
look at me all the time. It wasn't like that.
Mhm.
It's been really about finding a strength in myself and
Yeah.
finding that, just figuring out where I was going with that. And I and I did, I grew a lot through it. And the cool part is when you start to show up as yourself,
Hmm.
in life, and you stop worrying so much about like pleasing other people. What are other people going to
Yeah.
think about if I do this or that, or if I show that, hey, this is the direction I want to go in my life, whether it's
Yeah.
fitness or music or whatever it is you're doing in your art, your craft, your
Mhm.
passion. Um, when you show up as yourself, you give other people permission to show up as themselves in their life.
Yeah. Show up as
And
yourself.
Love
I
it.
like that.
yeah,
I made a note of that too. And
yeah,
Lindsay, you're saying this. It's funny because like we've had this discussion with a lot of like great mind discussions, if you will. We're always kind of breaking stuff down. And what you're saying is so true because you're like the moment you started being you, instantly people flock to genuineness. Like there's nobody. Well, I've
Yeah.
tried. Like I look,
Yeah.
there's nobody doing what you're doing. Like this blend of like the metal thing and the fitness, nobody's doing it. There's plenty of like
Yeah.
metal review people. There's plenty of fitness, but Lindsey Henson, the metal queen, like nobody's doing that. Like what you're doing
Yeah.
is one of a kind, and no
oh
wonder people
thanks.
flock to that and they want to follow you. They want to see what you're doing because you're fully, no questions asked, standing up for who you are as yourself. And when the world needs more of that, and you believe
I'm
in
a
what
little
you,
rebellious. No, it's
yeah, it's cool.
like,
But it works though. You know what I mean? It works. It's
Yeah.
cool. Dan, go ahead, Dan, because you know me, Dan. I'll
Well,
ramble. You got to forgive me. So
oh, and with that kind of energy, that it's a trailblazer, like Josh said. Something you're doing is unique, and they flock to you because you are who you are unapologetically. And those are the type of people that everybody wants to be around. Because, like you
I
said,
mean, I don't know
it it,
about
it opens
flock,
them up.
but
They will.
there's a few, a couple, two or three from time to time, you know.
I'm
um,
looking into the future to see
yeah,
all the
well,
people
yeah,
thanks.
coming to you.
I'll take all the
Absolutely.
manifestation.
love it. Love
We like that. We like good energy. So
So
yeah.
with your brand now and writing and the various things that you do, now that we're coming up on July and this year's already half over, 2024, what do you see for yourself and the brand and all the things you're doing? What are some of the things on the horizon for you to end the
it.
year?
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so I've been in prep now actually for about 5 weeks, I think. I'm about 5 weeks in. So what that means is I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
heading that direction, it looks like. We're gonna do some bodybuilding shows. This like late Latin summer, fall is what I'm looking at. I'm not releasing the dates yet, but I will announce them when I'm ready. Just because like freaks my mind out.
Yeah, I got
I
you.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to tell everybody everything that I'm doing. I
Yeah.
don't know. Because like, I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't want to like jinx anything or
Yeah.
like psych myself out too much, but you know.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got that going on. And you know, just possibly some other things we've talked about branding wise. So
We need
possibly
some merch. We need some t-shirts. We need some cool like dreaded of you like with a guitar and a barbell or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there you go.
It's something that we've talked about. We've actually talked about doing some like Metal Mother Fit merch, just you know, for fun with like the dreads and like maybe like outline of the muscles or something. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
You can't.
I mean, it could be fun. I was like, I'm down. Like me and Noah, and actually, and a friend of ours who that's like kind of what he does for a living. We've been tossing around some ideas, so it may be something we throw out there. I'm like, I don't know why everybody wants to like, or why anybody would care about little old me, but like, you know, I'm just, I'm just over here trying. I'm a rock star. I'm just like cheering on the rock star, the other one.
No. And that's Lindsey, that's what Dane and I are talking about with what, you know, again, respect to all the musicians out there and, you know, different spots. We try to showcase those stories that also need to be told. And that rock star light that you're showing, trust me, it is a bright light. So before I get off in the weeds here and could talk for hours on that, again, thank you in advance for the t-shirt. When you get it, I'll send you my address. I'd love to have some Metal Mother fits. I'm kind of seeing like this, you standing on like the top of maybe like a bench press thing with the guitar. I got this whole thing I'm seeing in my head, right?
Oh yeah.
So, I said I want to look like, I've always wanted to be a superhero when I was a little girl. Like I wanted to be Stormman.
Oh yeah.
And so I
just
somehow modeled myself after probably every strong woman that I looked up to. And so I'm hoping that's what this is.
Let's make it happen. Here we go on the show. So we're going to go ahead and hold you to it. So I'm going to transition. There's a little segment, Lindsey, that we do every single time we do the show. It's kind of a fan favorite, and we're very proud of this. I guarantee you in any media that you or Rob or anybody you know has done, I promise you haven't had a segment like this. What this is, there's 5 questions. This is called rapid fire. Now, the way we do this segment, we give you 5 questions, and Dane and I, we're betting on what we think you're going to say. We're kind of almost like Family Feud. We think we know what you're going to say, and whichever one of us gets your picks right, the winner gets lunch provided by the loser. It's kind of cool. So,
cool.
Yeah. So there's no wrong answer. When we do the segment, you just pick what you want. Like you can decide whatever you want, and me and Dane are the ones that like we're the one that have a win or lose in this. Okay, make sense. So in this segment, imagine time doesn't exist. Imagine reality's off the table. You can be a cartoon. You can go back in time. It's just a 5-question personality, silly Rorschach test about Lindsey. Okay. So, here we go. So first question with the brand, it's established. They're bringing you guys out. You know, kind of you're doing some tour stuff, and they're kind of giving you a little segment to kind of speak at the show, kind of like what Winter Jam has done, or things where the band performs, you get a segment to kind of almost give a testimonial and to work the crowd, right? You're going to do that. And if somebody walks up to you, 2 ladies are in the crowd watching your show and say, hey, Lindsey, on stage, we want to play you right in front of the whole crowd in the game of Scrabble on stage. This is kind of crazy. The 2 people that walk up to you, and you can decide your opponent to play Scrabble at the concert on TV, on the stage. You can play Scrabble against Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer Garner on stage. Who do you want to be your Scrabble opponent?
Ooh. I'm going to say Jennifer Garner.
Dang it, Dane. I had Aniston. Which one do you have, Dane?
Jennifer Garner. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm mad at you, Dan.
I don't know, man. She just seems like she would be quick. I feel like she'd be good.
You. Okay. No wrong answer. So good. So Dane, you got that one.
Plus she plays superhero.
Yeah,
that's true too. I mean, come on, we got to give her the superhero credit there.
She is like,
she seems like she's my vibe.
Yeah, I got you. Now I see it, Dane. I got you. I'm gonna get you back on this one, Dane. So question 2, check this out, Lindsey. So I know that you're a writer. Again, I knew about the stuff you did with the previous Pillar album, and I just know that you've been prolifically, I can't say the word, prolifically writing, and you have that acumen. So these 2 ladies walk up to you and say, Lindsey, I'd like you to help me turn one of my albums, kind of an anniversary album, into a metal album, and I want you to help me produce the album. Okay. The 2 ladies that walk up to you are Ariana Grande or Billie Eilish to make a metal album of their songs. You produce it as their album. You just cover songs metal. Billie, Ariana, which one do you want to go with?
I'm gonna go Billy.
Let's go.
I'm gonna
I
go
had that
Billy
one.
because she's a lot more artistic. I feel like.
Yeah,
No offense,
yeah,
Ariana,
yeah,
but like,
yeah. I got you.
you know.
She's darker, got that vibe that kind of fits
Yeah.
rock a little more. Or
I mean, you
maybe.
can only scream so many like break up with your girlfriend and like,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
I got you. It's just more. There's just more
It
directions you can
doesn't
take.
seem like it goes as hard.
I got you. I'm with you. I'm
Oh,
with
yeah.
you. And it'd be kind of cool. Like, can you imagine like redoing "Bad Guy" like as a metal song?
Oh, dude, yes.
Duh.
No, actually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
kind
could.
of- That'd be cool. There you go. So when she approaches you, Billy, if you're listening, there you go. Okay. So next question. Question 3. This is kind of just an old school. So you got some time off. Everybody's off from the road, and you guys are walking around town, just kind of like having a Sunday. And these two dudes approach you and say, "Hey, I want to play you one-on-one half-court basketball right now." They just show up, okay? The two dudes that want to play you is Shaq or Charles Barkley. They want to take you on one-on-one half-court. Who would you rather go against?
Who would I rather go against out of those
Yeah.
two?
Yeah.
Well, probably Barkley.
I knew it. I knew it. I had Barkley. I really did. I knew she was going to say it because I just knew it. Dane, who'd you have
I was
on
like, what am I gonna
Oh,
do
yeah.
with Shaq? He's just gonna
Yeah.
walk over and be like, bloop,
that? I love it.
and I'm gonna
Dane,
be
which one-
like,
I love
Yeah.
it. Dane,
Oh,
which
yeah, I
one did
had
you have?
I had Barkley. Yeah, I think the humor.
I might
just,
have a chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just
I
the
love-
trash talk. Just the trash
Just to like
talk
at
alone
least,
would-
yeah, and then that, that'd be fun.
That's awesome.
Banter.
So Dane, you're ahead of me by 1. Let me see if I can catch up on this one. We got 2 more of these rapid fire, Lindsay. Okay.
Okay.
So it's funny. My daughter tells me, because I'm in my 30s as well, and metal and new metal was my generation, right? So she goes, "Hey, Dad, I used to listen to oldies. It hurts my heart," but she says oldies, right? She don't know any better. So let's just take that and run with that for a second, even though we know it's the best generation of music. And you guys have decided, you and Noah and all of the metal friends that you know have decided to start a bowling league, metal edition, okay? And so you get to have like another guy, like they're trying out to be on your team. You and Noah's got a team. Love both of these guys dearly. They're both awesome. But you have one more spot open that you can add a bowling member to your crew. You can choose Serge, love him, from System of a Down, or you
Okay.
can choose JD from Korn. I know you're close with them, but
Solid.
Serge or JD, which one are you going with? So
Okay. I'm gonna go Surge.
let's go.
I
Let's
love
go.
me some System of a Down.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
like
go.
an OG, like that. That's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got you.
just
Yeah, I had
because.
you on that. I could see him like bowling a strike and be like, "Sugar," and just kind of like walking
Yep.
down the lane. I got you. Dan, which one do you have on that?
No, I missed that one. That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
Sorry.
You couldn't go wrong. Hey, you couldn't go wrong with either one.
No, you can't go wrong. It's
That's
up
true.
to you.
I
So
mean, they were solid. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So last one. This is the tiebreaker, Dan, since you and I are tied right now. So this is one that I knew both of your love for Pantera. So this question had to get in there. So let's say as the brand expands and you have to spend a day as a personal trainer working with some clients, and you're allowed to only give advice using lyrical quotes from one of these two bands. You have to speak to them in song lyrics. That's all you can talk. Okay. So your clients come up to you, say, "Hey, Lindsay, help me out, blah, blah, blah." Whatever you tell them, you have to speak song lyrics. Your 2 bands you can choose from to speak to them back in song lyrics is you can speak Pantera lyrics or Black Label Society lyrics. Pantera, BLS, which one are you going with?
oh, definitely Pantera. Come on.
It's sad because I actually had BLS. I really did. Even though I knew your love for Pantera, I just had this.
It's because Phil Anselmo has a sassy attitude.
Well, it's
Yeah, there
also
you go.
just Zach gets so Zach is so deep and he's
He
deep,
is deep.
So yeah.
I
Dan,
mean,
what'd
that
you have
could be
on that?
fun. You're right. It could be fun, but like I don't know. I guess maybe I just am like that's
That's
that
cool,
rebel in
yeah.
me.
No, I get you. Yeah, no wrong answer. Dan, which one do you have on that?
I had Pantera, but I was envisioning it. You have to give the advice in the same energy.
The same-
that
in
the
the same
singer just
voice?
says it. Yeah, you have to do it the
As-
same.
as
Yeah,
Phil.
Yeah.
Love it.
that's how
love
I
that.
envisioned it. That was great.
Oh, yeah, please, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
5 minutes of
Well,
love.
so I guess Dane, you took the cake. Dane's been on a roll. He's beat me the past couple times.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good job, Dane. You beat me this time too. So I love it. Well, Lindsay, that's a little segment that we're known for called Rapid Fire. Hope that's something a little different. Hope you had fun with that. Little
Good
segment.
times.
Good. Dan, I'll give it back to you for the final segment, man.
In this final segment, Lindsay, we call it open mic. we open the floor up to our guests to maybe talk to some of those um, younger athletes, musicians, basically anybody that wants to follow their passion and something that they love to do. Seeing that you've done that and you're starting to build your brand, is there something, maybe a word of advice or some philosophy that you can give our younger listeners and viewers that can kind of maybe help them along their path as well?
Ooh. It's never too late to start. And to not like give up on, like, literally, like, nobody is going to cheer you on or like be there for you more than you. So like you need to get the voice in your head straight. Really like work on yourself, and just whatever you can do to be the best version of you, and whatever it is that you're doing, because everything that you do affects other people. Like, that's us. When we go out into the world, it's an energy thing, and you're always exchanging that energy with other people. And so just like follow, like, don't quit, just keep going, whatever it is. It may seem like, it's not going exactly like as smoothly as you want. Sometimes you got to work some kinks out along the way. We all have our hard days. Even people that, every champion, has hard days, in between. Like, you don't just get there. You don't just wake up one day and like have it all together,
Oh, yeah.
but just really surround I would just say too, like, to make sure you keep the people around you, like those that are around you, be people that like really care for you, that are pouring into you, not taking away from you. Get rid of funky energy. Don't people please in your life, because people pleasing will stunt you and your growth, and it'll keep you from going for what you really want. Don't not do what you're passionate about because you're afraid that other people will make fun of you or think you're
Wow.
stupid. Do it anyways. And I'm speaking like even to myself when I say that, as somebody that hid themselves for a very long time. First because of trauma and things in my life, but then because of fear, because I started believing what other voices were saying,
Right.
and it took me, now here I am, I'm 38, and I'm proof it's never too late. You keep going. And like, I watch my husband work at it all the time. He's always working on bettering himself, even in this, whether it's in the studio or on the stage, just as long as you're always working on you, like, just block out everybody else. Don't pay
Wow.
attention. If they're cheering you on, let them cheer you on. If they're hating, just, that's fuel in the tank, and keep going.
You're saying this because we've had a few kind of inspirational moments, right? Where I'm just like, even just listening today. And one thing I keep going back to, Lindsay, is I made these notes. You talked about you didn't like, you weren't down on yourself, that you didn't take the typical path. I love that about you, that you did it your own way. You're inspiring, you're making great choices, you're taking care of your health, you're helping others take care of, and that's cool. Even though it's a lot, even if it was just one person, the fact that you took a chance on yourself, it paid off for you, for your family, which is number one. You got to take care of your family first. And then now you're seeing other people inspired by you. Gosh, that's got to be a good feeling that you kind of found your calling and what you're called to do. No wonder you're so at peace and so content. Not that trauma ever goes away, or like harsh things go away, but I can see, even just as we talk to you, we can tell there's that, like, what you're called to do. Am I right, Dan? You can just tell she's called to do this. Yeah.
I mean, you could tell that you've grown a lot from, the experiences you've had, and you're willing to learn even more, which is inspiring to anybody. Like you said, it's never too late to start. Just go to it, be unapologetically yourself, and people will notice what you're doing. So we congratulate you on building.
Yeah, that's
you.
crazy. Well, Lindsay, I know it's a pleasure. We say this every time we get a chance to connect with one of our guests. Obviously, we're connected now. We've got information, we've been messaging back and forth. Let's make sure that don't be a stranger. This won't be the last time we'll have you on. As the brand grows, as I get that T-shirt, I'm happy to rock it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and call it out. So let's make this
when I
the
get
first.
it made.
Let's go. I'll buy it. Tell me where to Venmo and I got you. But let's make this the first of many. It's been an honor. I meant what I said. We were inspired by you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just saying, absolutely. I'd come back if y'all wanted me to.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you for what you're doing. Like I said, for the presence of just leadership, female leadership. I had to close on that. Thank you for being that role model and being
Yeah,
the role model the way you want to be. You're not
yeah,
fitting anybody else's mold. And I'm so passionate about being yourself
yeah,
and being a role model. So this will be the first of many. I know it's late. I know you got the kiddos to work with. So Lindsay, we appreciate you, respect you.
yeah,
We'll be in touch. We'll get this out as soon as we can. Okay. So
Thank you guys so much.
yeah.
you're welcome,
Thank
my
you.
friend. Be in
Best of
touch.
luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Lindsay.
guys.
Bye. So Lindsay, or excuse me, Dan, that's Lindsay, man. I'm telling you, Lindsay Henson. What do you think of her? Wasn't she awesome?
Yeah, I mean, you think you learned a lot, and then you talk to somebody like that, and you learn so much more, and you go to
Wow.
another level, and
Wow.
it's inspiring it's inspiring to talk to people like that build themselves and do it the right way. You as a parent, you talk to your kids and you tell them, strike out on your own, be your own person, be an island, and don't let everybody else in with the negative energy, like she was saying. Surround yourself with people that'll be true to you and encourage you. So a great message for everybody to hear.
I thought about what she was saying because it was neat how, how some people, and I know people go through things and we all have tragedies in life and we have
Yeah,
bad times. She went through a lot, man. Even like
yeah,
God, the pain of losing your mom, that's deep,
yeah,
And now she took that story and she said, "Hey, I took a little time to like reset and I allowed myself to be sad." And then she didn't
yeah,
stay there. And she could have, no one could take away if she decided to stay there. No one could blame
yeah,
her. That's something life changing, but she didn't stay there. She decided to use that trauma to help others. And when she was talking about people watching her and following her now want to do better because of seeing her, they didn't maybe know her
yeah,
in real life, but they knew her kindred spirit, saw what she was doing, and wanted to better themselves
yeah,
because of what she was doing. Took a chance on herself. So,
yeah. And it's paying
man,
off, and I can't wait to see where it goes, and can't wait
yeah.
to hear the first debut song that she'll sing for us.
I know that's cool because when she was talking about making music, she did. She dropped a track on the last album, Pillar. I love that
Yeah,
band, so she helped with that track. She's a great writer. She's a great musical mind, and it's
yeah,
so fascinating because as we do with the show, most people enjoy sports or music, and she's kind of
yeah,
doing that same thing.
yeah,
She's doing fitness and music, and it's so fascinating. So, but man, I just am so lucky that we have for Dane. So that was
yeah,
Lindsey Henson. This is a true blessing, role model,
yeah,
and everything said. We'll have her back soon. So
yeah,
Dane, Sunday, speaking of role models, Sunday's going to be a big day too, man. Sunday
yeah,
we got two guests coming on Sunday. We have Coach Patricia Hartman from Georgia State University. We're going to be really, really
yes,
excited to have her on. It's going to be legit. And speaking of people from Lindsay's camp, her good
mhm,
buddy Michael Wittig, aka Kalel, cage fitness actor, strike MMA
yeah.
guy, all of the above. He's coming on Sunday as well. So this weekend's looking pretty legit as well. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. And don't forget to follow Lindsay on Instagram, Metal Mother
yes,
Fit on
yes.
Instagram, and,
So
and watch her journey. You won't be disappointed. A lot of
we'll
inspiration there.
we'll make sure we get the links out because that was just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So on behalf of Lindsay, the Henson camp, Dane and Josh, don't forget as always that we love you. And Dane.
Thank you for listening.